For most of my adult life, I've had this experience where wherever I go, especially like supermarkets and stores that sell any kind of clothes or shoes or whatever, people think I work there. So, about 70% of the time when I'm at a store, there will be at least one person who will come up to me and ask where something is or how much it costs. Sometimes this happens like several times within one visit. And I'm usually pretty polite about it because, they don't mean any harm, but sometimes it gets kind of obnoxious if it happens like 3 times within the scope of 30 minutes. And a lot of the time, these people will come up to me already sort of angry because, as probably any person who works in, the service industry will tell you, people who come up to a store employee often do it with this sort of sense of like, you owe me. You work here, so you're supposed to help me, which is fair enough, I guess, but sometimes they're just sort of really condescending and obnoxious about it, so I try to not get angry at them. If I can, I will just help the person because, like if they ask me, where is tea or whatever, and I know where it is, I'll just tell them. One time there was this lady who asked me where the tea was and I just showed her, and then she kept asking me other questions and I answered for a while, but then she asked me something that I couldn't possibly know, like, how much will this cost on 10 a.m. on Sunday, because there's like a retired people discount or something, and I said, I don't actually work here, and she got so angry at me. Like, I think she felt that I, like, led her on by helping her up to that point. And it's kind of interesting to see how people react once you tell them, I don't work here, because they'll usually, like, do a double take, like, look at me up and down and be like, oh, right. Like they hadn't thought to do that before. Now that they look at me, and I've thought for a long time of why this happens. Why people always think that I work everywhere I go. I think it's probably because I wear a lot of like generic clothing. I wear a lot of t-shirts, and I guess people look at me and think like, oh, black shirt, black jeans, she works here, even though I don't think anyone here actually has that kind of uniform in a store. They usually have like red or orange or, I don't know, green t-shirts. They're usually bright. And often I'll have a t-shirt that has something on it, like an emblem or something, and they don't notice that. And then when I say, I don't work here, they look at me and then they realize, oh, right, you're not actually wearing clothes that look like a uniform. One time there was this dude who came up to me and asked me something about alcohol that I don't really know anything about that, so I just told him, I don't work here, go find a person who does. I think they wear red shirts because the store has like a red emblem. He got super angry at me, and then he found someone who worked there and he got what he wanted, and then he sought me out. He found me in the store and he told me, I found a person who works here. They don't have a red shirt. Dude. Let it go. Let it go. Recently, there was a lady who came up to me like already really keyed up for some reason. I guess she'd been looking for the thing that she needed for a while and she couldn't find it, so she came up to me like angry, like, why can't I find it? You're supposed to help me. And she's like, do you have rubber gloves? And I said, no, do you? The cascade of emotion that went over her face was so fascinating to watch because at first she was just like really confused. Then immediately she got angry because how dare this person who works here talk to me like that? And then she did the up and down and realized that, oh, right, clearly she doesn't work here. So I guess she felt ashamed but didn't want to feel ashamed, so she just got angry at me for like, how dare you not work here? So she just sort of huffed a little and then walked away. I am still really curious about why this happens. A friend of mine once said that it's because I look like I know what I'm doing. That's why people think that I work there. Like, I look like I own the place, or work for the person who owns the place, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I look miserable. I don't know. I guess I don't look like I'm looking for something, because I just, I'm here, you know? When I'm in a store, I'm like, I'm here, but I don't really want to be here. And I guess people think that makes me a person who works there. I'm not sure. If anyone sees this video, tell me your ideas as to why this happens. It doesn't bother me that much, usually. I'm sort of used to it by now, but I'm still really curious about why this happens. So, ideas are appreciated.